Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we, apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So please reach out to us, and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you. Today I'm going to teach you Linux. Now, Linux is one of the vastest course I see you have, and if you, let's say, if you learn Linux in a proper way, okay, everything you learn in Linux, then trust me, 80% of your job will be done automatically. Yeah, 80%. That means whatever the profile you are performing any profile, developers, testing team, or operations. Linux is very important because it has lots of things which can help you to automate work, troubleshoot, set up everything. Most of the people get stuck because of Linux only, and they gradually learn, and it takes times also to learn and practice troubleshoot and all stuff like that. So starting point is important for all of us. So first of all, what is Linux? That's the first question which we are asking, and we all know that it's a operating system, correct? Is operating system which you need to work on daily basis. So I would suggest you give up Windows, migrate to Linux, and start working on it. Do it everything on Linux, everything. Okay, and preferred one is server edition and all. They have two versions of it, desktop and server. Server edition is the one best one to go ahead with. So that is a Linux. Now next thing is operating system will have kernel. Okay, that is something which we should know. Kernel, what is kernel? Now you'll say, Rajesh, why do we need to learn kernel? So let me tell you, if you know the kernel, how it works and all stuff like that, then you know the Docker well actually. And if you know the Docker well, then you will know the Kubernetes well. And if you know the Kubernetes well, you are the highest, you have expertise in Kubernetes, then you are the highest demanding, you have the highest demanding skills in the market. So that's how is correlations. Okay, so learn kernel, try to understand how kernel works and stuff like that. That will help you. So in this today's session, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to talk about how can you work with kernel for your DevOps operation. That is the primary goal for this session. How do you set up your local environment so you can learn the DevOps tools? You can set up a DevOps tool in your laptop itself, or maybe if you know kernels or Linux, again you can work on any cloud as well. So ultimately, AWS you go, or Google Cloud you go, or any cloud you go there and start the machines only, virtual machines only. And that machines which we have a kernel, Linux operating system or Windows. Windows hardly we use it on the cloud. We 99% we have seen, I have seen we use the Linux on the only on that. So yeah, so what are the flavors of Linux we have? Flavor means what? I'll put it in this way. Flavor means Linux is, who's the father of Linux, by the way? Anyone who have idea? Who's the father of Linux?
Linux Torvald.
So Linus Torvald, yes, this is the uh, name of this guy, Torvald. Now he's the father of one more tool, that is Git. Okay, so Git also we are going to learn. Linux also we should learn and stuff like that. So he's the father of Git also, you know that. So flavor, when I say what has happened, Linux is open source. Okay, it's operating system and it's open source. So what happens? Anyone can copy the Linux kernel, basically kernel, and then top of that they can write their own operating system. So some of the operating systems which has been written, which is very popular by the way, which is Ubuntu, CentOS is written on Linux. I mean, more than 44 flavors we have, which we have in the industry, which is written on the Linux kernel. So now we are not going to discuss 44, others lifetime will be occupied in the Linux only. But yeah, some of the flavors we use a lot. That is like CentOS we use a lot. Enterprise people, Red Hat they use a lot. Ubuntu also used a lot. So as part of this session, we'll use the CentOS 7 and Ubuntu 20.x. Okay, these are the things we'll use it. Red Hat, we don't have a license for it, but yeah, if you work on CentOS, you can work on the Red Hat also because both are from the same company that's called Red Hat. CentOS is open source and free, and Red Hat is paid one actually. Some additional tooling you will get it in the Red Hat by the Red Hat. Okay, so these are the things which we have. So now we understand more or less the importance, what is Linux, and at a high level, which you know, I know, and then why this is important. Okay, so one of the statement which I made it like, please migrate to Linux as soon as possible from today only. Start doing everything on Linux. Okay, if you think, oh no, I'll not migrate on Linux to Linux, I will still continue doing all this stuff in Windows, then I just said no. 80% of the work required which is related to Linux only. Rest of the things is like Ansible or Git or Jenkins or Maven or Gradle or Kubernetes or Prometheus, whatever the tools I'll be teaching you, that is like a simple to learn, that's easy to learn actually. If you know the foundation, if you know the operating system well, then rest of the things is just a matter of few commands, that's all. Nothing great about it. So please focus on it. Now the next question is, okay, fine. How to get sorry sorry so how to get Linux VM? Okay, so VM, see, we can install the Linux in the physical server directly. Physical server, when I say laptop, desktop, we can do that. That's not a problem. But we don't do that because we want the virtualizations. Now, the thing is, what is virtualization? This is something which some of you, if you are not knowing, again, in a simple way, I'll say, virtualization is a way where you can divide the hardware. When I say hardware, that means CPU, RAM, hard disk, and stuff like that. Divide the hardware in the multiple compute unit. That's one of the simplest definition. Again, you should go and try to learn offline. So let's say I have a one physical hardware, physical machines, and then I want to run 10 operating system in the one physical machine, so I'll have to go through the virtualization. That's one of the easiest way you can understand this way. So now there is a software actually for virtualization to create a multiple virtualization, like multiple compute unit. Means I want 10 Linux, 10 Windows. 10 Mac. So I need a virtualizations for the hardware. So which tool will help us to do the virtualizations? So some of the tools which is very useful, which is called VMware Workstation. I think some of you must be having in offices. And the one which I'm going to teach you is VirtualBox. VirtualBox. This is these two tools are good for laptop and all. But if you want to run data centers and all, then we have a vSphere. Okay, Zen, EXI, and all many softwares we have it. Okay, AWS is also running on the virtualization. Google Cloud also running on the virtualizations. Remember that. So that is called this called hypervisor. This category of this tool is called hypervisor. So if someone will say, hey, hypervisor, I'm using vSphere, that means using vSphere, you can create hundreds of virtual machines, hundreds of Linux box, hundreds of Windows box or something like that. Okay. So are you able to understand that, all of you? Any questions, any doubts?
Sir,
Yes,
hypervisor.
Raj.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tell me.
what is a hypervisor? I mean, it's an OS, no? E6i is an OS
So
for
see,
hyper
so virtualization is a concept,
concept. Yeah.
and yeah, concept. Okay, and hypervisor is a category of tools. So these all tools, VMware, VirtualBox, vSphere, EXI, Zen, all this thing is coming under the hypervisor category. For example, if I'll say, hey Raj, hey, can you tell me tools for source code management? So source code management is a category, and then tool is Git, SVN, Perforce, ClearCase, and all that stuff. So hypervisor is category actually. Okay. So that is something which we have. Are you understanding?
Okay.
Yeah. So there are a lot of hypervisor in the market. No need to focus on everything. We'll get lost in that. So that's today in this session, and I want you to set it up VirtualBox. By the way, VMware Workstation is also free, but VirtualBox we are going to use it. vSphere is a paid one actually. So fine. I understood that we need a operating system Linux, and we understood that we need a CentOS for 1 to 20. And then we understood that, okay, how do we get the virtual machines using the hypervisor? And then one of the hypervisor we selected is VirtualBox. So now VirtualBox, I need to install it. Now, how do we install it? I think I should not show you that demo, because this is something like you download the executable, next, and finish. So nothing great about it. So you can download the executable. See, the 7 dot has come. It's a new release actually. So 7.x, I mean, you can download the latest version, and you can download this one from the Linux also, Mac also, and Windows also. I'm assuming most of us will be having Windows. So at least one thing is clear, like you will download from these locations and install it in your laptop, which I have done it. So let me show you. I'll go to my search window, and here I'll search virtual box, and here this is Oracle VM VirtualBox. Okay, now this is the place you will create your local environment. Let me tell you here one very simple statement, guys. You don't need to leave your laptop to learn any tools except cloud. See, if you want to learn cloud, then you have to go on cloud. For example, AWS. If you want to learn, you have to go. But if you want to learn tools, let's say you want to learn Maven, Gradle, Ansible, you want to learn Kubernetes, you want to learn Terraform, we need a cloud value. So some tools which is not dependent on the cloud only, you can run in a laptop environment also. So that way, many people, what happens, like, okay, some cloud, have to start it, have to connect it, all this thing, and I have don't have internet right now, maybe. So set up your everything in the local environment only. So troubleshooting will be much faster, because ultimately you have to save time. So okay, so you will install it, VirtualBox, from this location, and after that you go and open up a VirtualBox in your laptop. This is my VirtualBox setup. Now, if you look at this how I'm using the VirtualBox. See here. So whatever the tools I'm having, one VM I have created. These all are VMs actually. These all are VMs. So you see that. So if someone say, Rajesh, I want to learn Tomcat. So immediately I'll start the one of my VM and start teaching Tomcat. if someone say, Rajesh, I want to learn Puppet or Jenkins or Excel Release or Jira or Kubernetes or SonarQube. So I have a setup. Immediately you can start this. So that way you can have your own setup also. Now you say, Rajesh, how much in memory you need? So I assume like most of us nowadays will have a 16 GB RAM at least, an i5 at least. That is sufficient for running 2 to 3 VM parallelly, and each VM you may have a 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. That is right, right? All of you, correct? No? Correct? No? All of you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now next question is, okay, then how to create a VM? How to create a VM? This is something which you have to do that. So what I have done, I'll tell you. My tricks, I'll tell you. I've created a VM. Where is my VM? This is a VM. This is one VM. I call it template. So what I've done, I've created one VM and I named it as a template. And whenever I want the VM, you know what I do? Right click, clone. And within a second, I got the clone of that VM. Within a second, I said next clone, full clone. Okay. And you see that here, this VM is ready. It's a CentOS VM, by the way. This template is created from CentOS 7. Okay. So this is the VM I got it. Now within a second, actually, where is that? It's gone somewhere. Demo one, here it is. See that? And you can start working. So it's a fresh VM and you can start working on it. So this is the way I have done it. So I'm not wasting my time. Okay. So I'll just delete it because I don't need this right now. Remove, delete all files because I don't want to store this 40 GB, 50 GB now. So this, in order to set up a template, what I did, I set up everything. See here, it's a 40 GB VM, and here I have assigned that few CPU, 2 CPU, and 4 GB RAM, and it's become a template. And networking here, I'm going for the bridge mode, which I'll teach you in some time, and also after that. So it's just to save time actually. Time is important for everyone. You have subscribed this session only for saving time. Remember that. Why? Because something which I am teaching you, you can learn from other places also, yourself also. Google is there, but that will consume more time to learn. But here I'm trying to give you in a one shot, so which you are saving time. That's the reason you subscribe for this course. Nothing else. There are many other tutor which is better than me, but available on the Google. Correct, no? So time is important, and you have to always try to save time in DevOps concept. Okay, so time is very important. Now the question is, okay, fine. So how do I create a VM then? How do I create a VM? So first of all, you have to download the VM image. Okay. Now understand that image concept. This image concept you will hear a lot. So right now I'm talking about the VM image. Tomorrow I'll talk about the Docker image. Okay, so pod image. So many places I'll talk about the image concept, so you need to remember that. So VM, how do we get it? VM, so I will download the VM from the download CentOS. See, I'm in front of you searching for CentOS 7 VM. Okay, and here I'll go for this place and I'll download. No, this is not right URL. This is the right URL. Okay, so here this is the right package. Now you tell me, there are so many packages for the CentOS 7 2009. I'm confused which one I should download. What do you think,
The
all of
top
you?
one, for-
The top
Why?
one, x86.
Why?
it's
Why?
Windows 64.
It's for Windows.
Uh, so remember that this is for the mobile architecture. This is for IBM machine. This is also for mobile architecture, and this is older architecture. So you have this architecture x86 remember that many people get confused, so you have to remember that. If you don't know, then go to the PC property and stuff like that. So here I will download the, see here there's so many mirrors. One of the mirrors you select and download it. I'm not downloading in front of you because it's time consuming. So this is the step number one. You download the image. See, so what I have done, I have already all this image downloaded. Let me show you my collections of images. Software and VMs. These all are images. So these are the seven, and these are the 1, 2. These are the some hypervisor now. This is the Windows version. So this is the If you download this one, which is a DVD version, which has a UI also, which is close to 4 GB, and minimal version, which is server edition 1 GB. Go for minimal version, okay? Because don't get a habit of UI. Okay? Avoid the UI as much as possible. Okay, because that way you can become an ingenious and do this automations. Okay, so now I got the VM. You saw that VM image, and then now I will create a VM. So let me create a VM. So here I'm just making sure there's no VM I'm running because I have a 16 GB RAM only. So here I'm creating a VM. Look at my screen. You will have a recordings also. You can do offline. So create a VM, and the name of the VM I'll keep it demo 2. Okay, now this machine folder I'll let it be default because I have a C drive. Wherever I set it up, it will go to C drive only. But if you have a multiple drive, you want to manage all this thing and all, then you can do that this one. And here you have to select that what is the type of operating system. So it's a Windows, of course not. Linux, yes. And here what is the version of it? So right now I'm going for the CentOS 7. So basically CentOS 7 is coming from the family which is Red Hat 7 64-bit. So this is one. Now I'll tell you one more thing. Here, some of your laptops, virtualizations will not be enabled. You will not get a 64-bit. That means VT is not enabled for you. Okay. So many of your laptops will not have a VT enabled. Okay. So then in that case, you will not be able to create 64-bit of VM. You'll be able to create 32-bit of VM, but not 64-bit of VM. So what we'll do in this case? So in this case, what we'll say, you will put that VT is not enabled, and your architecture, what is that, your model number, BIOS, you have to do the changes in the BIOS actually. So you have to, as per your architecture, put it in this, and as per your machine architecture you will have a steps for how to change the BIOS and how to enable the VT means virtualization enable in the BIOS. Okay, so if you have any doubts and all, you can look at some of the how to do that. But remember that the steps will change as per your hardware. Okay, so brand, let's say Dell, you have a different instruction, HP they have a different instruction, I have Avita, so it has a different instruction. More or less it will be same. If you search here and there, you will find it out. But BT has to enable, so some of you will have this problem, so please remember that I am putting in the recording. Got it, all of you? All of you?
Yes, Raj.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right.
So please,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah. So please remember that this was, I think, luckily we got a one tutorial which has everything actually. I mean, all architecture. Mine is not there, but it's okay. So that is something which you have to do. So you got this here. Now I'm going to create a VM. So Linux 64-bit ready. Now how much RAM I want to give it? I'll just want to give 2 GB RAM only. And next, here you want to create a virtual disk. Yes, you say yes right now. Create VDI. Your type of the virtual disk will be VDI. Again, some of these things you don't understand right now. Don't need to get into the, because if you stuck at one place, you'll not be able to move. Right now, just continue. Dynamically allocated. Yes. Here, how much of storage you want to give? So I want to give 20 GB storage. So here, somewhere close to 20 GB, and it will be dynamically allocated. It's not like 20 GB immediately will start coming. And create. So guys, I created a view. There's some noise coming from someone. Can you please mute yourself? Yeah. So demo 2 has created. Now guys, please follow my instruction. You will do in the recording with the help of recording. Setting, go to setting. And here you will go to the system, sorry, storage. And here you see, go to the empty. Okay. And clearly locate, you see this icon, CD icon, and boot device you have to add it. So now I have added boot device already here, but I will still go and choose that. Choose a disk file, and where is my file? I locate it, and this is my minimal file which I have. Okay, and then open and click OK. So that means what I did basically, I created the VM specification and then feed the boot image. Boot image will help me. Boot image means CD image, the VM image, and then it will help me to set up that installations and stuff like that. So now start this. Simple. Okay, so I clicked on start and it will pop up one UI. Now this is little frustrating and irritating also. I agree with that. This option is little frustrating. It's but one time activity. You get a habit of it because I told you no. I created template because of doing this automation. So install CentOS 7. You have to play with the keyword. Okay, mouse will not work sometime. So you have to play with the keyword and play with the keyword and press enter. Install installations. So now the installation process of the VM is getting started here, and you have to look out some of the options which you'll see only, and then you will understand. Others you'll get frustrated. I know that. Okay. So right now it's booting up. Remember that you have to always work with a keyword, keyboard, sorry, not with a mouse. Okay. So that is something which you have to remember. Now here you play with the keyword, okay? So now, do you want English? Yes, I'm okay. See, I'm playing with the keyword, okay? And now it's not visible, but yes, now it's very. You have to focus on the screen a lot to understand where is your cursor. And continue. I put it on the to continue and enter. Okay, then done. Now here just wait for a few seconds, it will come, and there is one option which you are seeing, installation destination. Only that has to be done. So I'll play with the tab, go tab, keyword, language, this and this. Now it's not visible. I can't do anything because the view is like that only. There's a limitations. So what to do now? So I'll go to the installation destination and click enter, and here automatically that disk which you created 21 GB automatically done, and I will say done. So here if I see done is a keyword is highlighted on that my cursor, and enter. That's all. Now you see the begin installation button which has come. So if you're not sure, just let me play with the tab again. This and quit now, begin installations, and press enter. Okay, done. Now in the background, the installation has been started. Okay. Meanwhile, what you can do, you can set up a root password, or you can create a user. Don't create a user because you can do it later on. Also, user command is there, user creation command, user add. But right now, I want to set the password. So what you can do, I'll play with the again keyword and go to this root password and enter. Now, what is the password? So my password is Rajesh123. Rajesh123. Don't tell to anyone. And then again play with the keyword. Go to the done and enter. Now, in the within 4 to 5 minutes, I think it will take 4 to 5 minutes. Yes, and your VMs will be ready. Your username is root. Password is Rajesh123. Did you understand that, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
For
Yes,
me,
yes.
yes, sir.
Yeah. So something similar you have to do with Ubuntu also. Ubuntu also. Something similar you have to do Ubuntu, and a preferred one, my preferred for this training is 20. Okay. So please remember that. So now we got the VMs. Okay. Now it will take some time. Let it happen in the background. That's not a problem. But the next question is, see, uh, if you see that one thing, can you see my cursor, all of you? This is very important.
Y-
Can you see my cursor? You know what I
Yes.
did? I click my cursor inside the window of the VM. Okay, that is I did. Now I'm confused how to take my cursor out of this. I'm not able to take the cursor out of it. So guys, I want you to focus on one keyword which will help you to control your cursor. So cursor, you have a two location. One is your Windows and one is like this VM, the console. Okay, so how do you release the cursor from the VMs and bring back to the Windows? That's a question. So I want you to focus on one thing, one keyword which is in the same screen and it says write control. Can you please find out where exactly that is?
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.